and I'm going to tell you when we're going to talk for a minute, and then I'll start. I'll just go like that to go ahead and go on down. You tell me, how do you want to do that, Cam?
I have no idea, but we're gonna
Okay, well let's try.
I'll just say, Sharon, come on down, you know, like,
Yeah.
let's go see the puppies.
Okay.
Mira,
so, yeah,
hold
tell me
on.
a little bit. You're doing this whole basement
Yeah,
just for fostering.
right. I've been fostering for about 11 years now, and it's just become my passion. And so as I'm downsizing, I thought I want to be sure and have plenty of room for the kittens. I did foster kittens for a while.
But so let's start.
yeah,
Let's
okay.
start. So you decided, talk about your downsizing.
Yeah, as I'm downsizing, I was thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I won't have my big basement. And I thought, well, the new house does have a basement, and I just got it ready for the puppies. And so basically it was heated floors. The baseboard's made out of tile instead of wood because I've had a few issues with that. But in general, the puppies are usually pretty well behaved.
Well, let's see.
So, yep, come on down.
All right.
I've got two little ones here right now. Not tiny ones, but puppies. Hodor. Hello there, little ones. Hello there, little ones. So this is Hodor, this beautiful little brindle boy, and this is Mira. And they're such good puppies. Now, and this is Della, and I've got BB here. These are two of mine. I have 6. And mine actually do better with other dogs because I do foster. I mean, it makes them more social. If they were just among themselves, they would probably be a little more aggressive towards strange dogs, but they're used to it. They're used to them coming and going constantly. Okay.
Show me what you've got going on in here.
So right here I've got the only things you really need for fostering. An X-Pen and wee-wee pads. Those come in really handy. The SPCA does supply everything you could possibly need, so all you really need is love and some time. You do need a little time. And sometimes a little patience, right? Are you going to be good puppies for this film? Could I have a little kiss? And you get kisses.
Lots of good kisses.
Yes, she's a good girl. Where's my little boy? Hodor. He's tangled up in the wires.
Is he?
Hey, oh no, he's chewing on them. Oh, okay, come on, Hodor, give him back. Give him back.
No.
Give him back.
Gosh, on the wires.
Okay, so
All right, so what do we need to do to make that work without the puppies? Because we're not going to have the puppies for this one.
Well,
do you want to just take a few little snippets of me with the
If we
puppies?
need to stay with the puppies, we will, if that's gonna make the difference.
Well,
How about we just do, I do a little sit, give him a treat
You know
and
what?
stuff?
We'll just stay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
so
whoa.
you guys don't have to worry with
Well,
that.
I'm thinking about continuity too, if you wanted to set up over there and have her walk in this way without being Mike. And then we, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And just whatever little bites that we got coming down that way we can use. If we need to do this again, we can do it again.
We'll stay put with these puppies.
You tell me.
Let's do that because if you were talking about making an edit here, you swung way too wide.
Okay.
At the phone.
So if you would like,
If you cut that corner,
we can cut
I
it.
can edit quicker
Okay.
and then pick it up from
So do you
this
want us to do
point.
it this way again?
No,
and
we
cut
can
it?
do that again without the dog.
Okay,
Let's worry
gotcha.
about all the stuff
Okay.
about the dogs later.
Okay, now does she doesn't need this on.
No, if you're gonna do,
Beth, your shoestring
if you just
came
want
with
shots
that
of her
puppy
playing
dog.
with the dogs and
I think
And I'm gonna
shots
get 'em
for
to
play-
sit.
I wonder if you want to get one shot of her without a wireless. There's nothing we can do. So we'll get video otherwise, and maybe your mic picks up enough
I've
of the
got,
gnats.
yeah, I've probably.
To,
got
yeah,
that.
enough so we can just, so let's go without this until we're ready to do the interview. And then what we'll do is,
Oh, you've got it. We'll
Yeah,
just,
I do.
you can leave this here and just unplug this.
It'd be
I know, I
just as
already-
easy
Oh,
to.
just easy to undo
already
it?
Untether you.
undid you. Yeah. That
Yeah,
way
you
you're
just want to
Rolling.
So you want that to talk to?
Yeah.
Right.
All set up.
I actually can use all the rooms right now because there's no furniture in it. But I did this so the puppies would be warm. Because in the wintertime, the basement can be cold, so the floors are heated. The baseboards are made out of tile also, just in case they decide to chew. That happens now and then. But with the X-Pens, you really don't have to worry because I can partition them off and keep them. I have 10 X-Pens. I could actually do the whole area, just keep adding on.
Well, you know, the crazy thing is puppies chewing, that would never happen, right?
Never, never happened. Oops, we have a little accident here. That's okay, I'm prepared. They are not really on to the whole thing about what the wee-wee pads. Oh, up, up. You don't need to track it all over. See how easy that is to fix?
It's the joys of fostering, isn't it?
But it's tile floor, it doesn't hurt. There we go.
This looks like wood.
I know, isn't that crazy?
It is.
Give it the old barn look. Up, up, up. No, this is not a game. No, it's not a game. You should see me try and Swiffer. I've had 8 or 9 little puppies just hanging onto that Swiffer. There we go. Okay, okay.
They must love that.
Okay, are you going to sit? Wait, sit. Good girl. Sit. Good boy. Oh. Sit. Now all the way down. Good. Gotta sit. One at a time here. These are really yummy too. Oh, good sit. Oh, you get 2. It's really, they're so willing to learn. No, you gotta get off. That's one thing, it's cute when they're puppies, but when they get big, jumping up doesn't work. Okay, now wait, no, be careful here, you gotta sit. All paws on the ground. There we go, ouch! There we go. Good boys and girls. I had to go to Maine. When you foster, I foster litters. I prefer that now because I've got 6 of my own, and when I would foster one at a time, they end up staying. So it was a lot easier for me to make the commitment of a puppy, a mom and her puppies, which is at least 8 weeks, possibly longer. Some of them don't have their babies for 2 weeks when we think they're due any minute. And the first 3 to 4 weeks, the mother pretty much totally takes care of the dog. All you have to do is take the mom out and feed her. But after that, that's when things start getting a little more difficult because you've got multiple puppies taking care of business, and then they start tearing up the wee-wee pads. But all in all, it's really quite simple and very gratifying because they're well-adjusted puppies. At 8 weeks, all of mine usually know how to sit by the time they're 8 weeks old.
That's great.
Just, they have to learn something. And they're paper trained, I slowly will remove the paper until there's just some in the far corner, and they just automatically sort of start using it, so that's been
great.
nice.
That is great.
It's just, it's been a blessing for me because when my husband passed away, that's when I had a little extra time on my hands, and it just gave me a purpose. And I just got started and couldn't quit.
Yeah.
And it's also really wonderful for people that have children. In the summertime, there's usually a greater need for fostering, and not just dogs. The kittens are wonderful, and they're actually easier because they go in the litter box. And parents then can teach children responsibility in raising their animals. Hey, they're having a good time. Mine are having a good time too.
It's funny how they all get together and it's like, play day.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have all 6 of mine here right now. Yeah, I go through a lot of toys.
I bet.
Definitely go through a lot of toys. Give me a little one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not decapitated, but it's losing one
Hi,
arm.
well, hi.
Oh, you two look good
Hi,
together with your
hi.
black
Yes.
outfits on.
Yes, we came prepared, didn't we? We came prepared for the shoot. Yes, we
But
did.
it's pretty easy, you know, in the morning, of course, you clean up and you feed and take care. And then you've got the rest of the morning to yourself. Then at lunch, because the young puppies and the moms, I feed them 3 times a day.
Oh, do you?
Because of great need.
Yeah, that's,
And
I would think it's kind of a full-time job in the beginning of that many puppies all at
once
once.
they're about 3 or 4 weeks old, it's the 3 times a day to be sure the mom gets out. Some of my moms, I prefer to keep indoors for their potty breaks because it's easier with the wee-wee pad than taking them out. Some don't want to leave. Some are totally happy downstairs. And usually I'll set it up so the mom can get out of the X-Pen, but that the puppies can't. First they start out in the swimming pool. That's really easy. In those little plastic pools.
How do you let them go though? I mean, after you've cared for them for that much time, it would seem like it'd be hard to say goodbye.
After 8 weeks, I'm ready.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, if you just foster a couple dogs, that's a different story.
it's hard.
It's easy to sneak them in the family without anyone noticing it. Right, Bibi?
How many foster failures do you have?
Well, 6.
Six.
In fact, Zach's not here. He was my very first one.
Yeah.
He was from Charlottesville, and Suzanne Kogut said, "Why don't you try fostering?" She's the one that started all this. And I gave it a try and failed several times before I caught on. But it's not really a failure.
No.
It's just important because it gives the pets get a new home. You need a mani-pedi. the pets get a home, and especially families with children. I mean, it's just such an important part of learning how to take care of someone else.
It is.
And you learn to be more, you learn to share, you learn generosity, you learn responsibility.
Do you want to do a little bit?
Hey, wait a sec. Okay, you ready? Oh, you are just such a cute little girl. Ready? I'm gonna throw this. Let's see if you fetch. Go get it. Good puppy. Good puppy. They bring that back. Good. Now, good boy. Go get it. I should open up the X-Pen so I
Other
can write.
edits that we have to do.
Oh, look at this cute little sit
But
tree.
let's do
Go
another
get it.
fetch and see if I
And
can
you're-
get them
come
to
here.
run away
Go
from
get it.
us.
Good boy.
Look. I can't see you when you're behind me.
Here we go. Go get it.
Okay.
Those are cute
Yeah,
shots when they
classic.
put their
right in
little
the line.
noses right in. We have it. Good girl. Go get it. Hey, sit. Sit. Good. Sit. 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 No, that's not a sit. Sit. Good. Sit. He's on to the catching the trees faster. You got Della. There's a few beeps. I don't know, what does that look like on? Oh, what are we doing there? Come here. One more sit. Good girl. Sit. Sit. You're not paying attention. Just so excited.
I know. I see Elizabeth on my phone. And,
Right.
Beth, tell me a little bit about why you started fostering in the first place.
I lost my husband suddenly one night, and it was devastating. And then we had shelter dogs that we had adopted over the years, and they brought him great joys. Okay, kids, okay.
Chill. You just chill. Just be chill,
Yeah.
kid. Chill, kitty. Listen to me. Chill, doggy. Chill, puppy dog. Chill, right? Can you chill? Can you chill? Can you chill? Do you need a toy? Do I need to put a toy in your mouth? So then I'll go. "Rrr."
Then it'll go squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yeah, that's true. No.
Okay, kids,
Chill
that's
out.
enough.
Chill out. All right. Be good. Be good puppies. So tell me again, why did you get started?
So I lost my husband suddenly, and it was a shock. And because we had shelter animals, and that was one of his greatest joys were our kids, I decided to do something in his memory up at Charlottesville Albemarle SPCA. And I met the executive director, Suzanne Kogut, and I never even heard of fostering. I just thought the animals came in and they got adopted out. And so I started with one dog. He's still with me. His name is Zach. And then another dog named Booger Dog. He's still with me. Anyhow, I got such joy from it that I just got addicted. And now I see why people end up with hoarding, and I was, because you can't save them all. Anyhow, I finally realized there was a big need for people to foster dogs that were pregnant or with litters, because it's a little more difficult. I also fostered kittens too. At one time I had 17 kittens and divided among 3 bathrooms upstairs.
Oh my Lord.
But I've got a couple dogs that are not real cat friendly, so I decided to stick with the dogs now.
What did it do for you? I'm sure that must have been a horrible, devastating loss. I mean, doing something like that, how did it change? Were you thinking at some points, what the hell am I doing? I need time to grieve. What did you?
It certainly helped the grieving process. Saving lives is definitely a good thing to do, and I just enjoyed it. It gave me a purpose. It filled that void of, well, when you have a sudden loss like that, I don't know, I can't explain it. It just kept me busy, and so it made it a little easier. I just didn't sit around and cry and feel sorry for myself, and it just worked.
So
And it still works 11 years later. 11 years later, it still works. And I've gotten quite good at it. I'm not tempted to keep them anymore because I've got 6. And I just know how much it helps. The shelters can't, hey, that's my blouse. The shelters just can't take care of all the animals certain times of the year, especially in the spring, summer, when there are a lot of births. And it just takes some of the pressure off the local shelters and the rescues.
I think a lot of people walk into SPCA and think these are the animals that they have, and that's not even close.
That's something too I think needs to be dealt with in another way. Maybe to have the video screen up with live cameras, maybe at some of the fosters' homes. I mean, so many times people walk into the shelter and they go, "There's no puppies here." No, they're out at other people's houses getting a lot of individual attention and learning manners and just becoming normal family pets. And it's just such a good start for them.
Go into the difference between an animal, although well cared for at SPCA, they're in cages, they get walked by the volunteers, all of that happens, but go into the difference between them being at a shelter versus being in a home.
Well, I have a perfect example. One of our dogs, Minnie, I adopted. She was an owner surrender at the age of 7, was in the shelter. Now I'm talking the old shelter. And she was just stressed. She actually, when I went to pick her up to adopt her, she bit one of the shelter workers or volunteers at the time, but I took her, and when I took her to my vet, she just charged at my vet. And he told me, I think you need to think twice about this animal. And my husband said, no, we got to give her a chance. And I said, well, if I can't give her a bath, she's not staying. Anyhow, she was wonderful. Once she got sort of out of the shelter situation with all the dogs barking, she started to relax. She was a wonderful, loving dog. We had her for almost 19 years.
Wow.
Well, minus the 7.
But isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and so a lot of them, they look like they have behavioral problems, but they really don't. They're just so stressed, especially a dog that's been turned in and is an owner surrender for whatever the reasons might be. I mean, sometimes the elderly can't care for them anymore, and they've had this wonderful life, and then all of a sudden they're next to all these dogs that are barking and just going crazy, and it changes their personalities. It makes them frightened, and then some have fear aggression. There are just so many better ways for a dog to be cared for than in a shelter situation. Even though they do a great job at Charlottesville, it's still better to get them in a home.
Well, when you talk about this little girl that you got that was having such a difficulty, was so stressed from being an owner surrender, when you get them home and you start to see them come around, what does that do for you? I mean, what do the dogs mean to the humans versus just what the humans mean for the dogs?
It's just a wonderful feeling, but if you're a dog lover, it's easy. You say, I've got some crazy ones at home. It's just wonderful watching their personalities, their true personalities come out. Because so often some will be huddled in a corner, some become aggressive. And when they're in the right situation, you can see their true personalities. And that's why so many of the shelters now, I think they've got the play group, so the dogs are outside and getting more play time. It's just all around better for the animals.
And it helps the humans as well, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't imagine life without a dog. When I take mine to the groomers, all 7, I only have 6 now. All 6 of them go at once, and I'll come home after dropping them off, and I walk into the house, and it's like the house has died. My house is just so happy and exciting and busy, and I guess that's what started it.
Yeah, because it is. You don't want to walk in. Nobody wants to walk into this quiet. You lose somebody, and it's sort of like.
And I mean,
oh my God.
look at this. She couldn't do this if she was in the shelter with lots of dogs barking, could you?
No.
Yeah, they need the individual attention, and especially when they're younger. And there's also older dogs at the shelter that really need to be fostered. In fact, as I age, I think I'm going to be doing the older dogs because they've probably lived somewhere for a long time in a private home, and they just need a place to get some peace and quiet. Mm-hmm. I know I do. I'm not that old yet. And I think the SPCA does have programs, the Seniors for Seniors, where they help the seniors, because some people can't afford to take on another pet. But the nice thing about fostering is they supply everything. You know, all you have to do is give them love and attention and feed them, and I mean, it's easy. It's a no-brainer.
What would and that's an important point that you make about the older dogs, because a lot of people think fostering, it's to bottle feed the babies till they're ready to be adopted.
No, I've actually only done that once.
Really?
Yes. Most of my litters have moms, and everything goes very smoothly. The bottle feeding, I think they have more instance of that with the cats and the kittens, because people bring in litters of kittens with no mom.
Right.
And
but the older dogs also, you just don't think of them needing to be fostered.
Oh, and I think the need is probably almost greater for some. I mean, how would you like it if you were thrown out in your last few years of your life and you were used to a certain lifestyle? I will, as I get older, I will probably be taking on older dogs because they're easy. You're not going to have them, they'll more than likely be housebroken. They'll be calm, they'll be quiet, they'll just be happy to sit on your lap and get petted.
You think they're thankful?
Oh yeah. I mean, look at this. Are you relaxed, little girl? He's still a little wound up.
He is, but he's settling down with a good massage.
Yeah.
So with a good massage.
What do you think, Della? And Bibi?
They're so sweet. What would you say to somebody who might be thinking about fostering, or if you're trying to explain to people the outreach of SPCA versus just the shelter itself? Because I think a lot of people walk into the shelter, they think that's the shelter, and that's what it is. It's a shelter.
Well,
Whereas there's a lot more outreach going on, and really it's sort of like these tentacles out with all these different foster homes and things like that.
well, and also what's important to know, some fosters, they only need 2 or 3 days. Some fosters, the young puppies, maybe they have to wait a week before they can be spayed and neutered. So it can be a short-term commitment because some people don't have the time, they're working full-time, but just taking a dog for whatever its need might be into your home frees up space for somebody else. That's the important part. And you're really helping out a lot. And it's not a big commitment. I mean, it isn't. When I do litters, it's at least 8 weeks because they can't be adopted before then. But otherwise, a lot of the adult fosters might just be 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, they're up for adoption and they don't last long, especially the little dogs. I mean, I've had some wonderful hound dogs, and they don't run like they say.
Really?
Yeah. Let me tell you, you feed a hound dog well, they'll be back all the time. They run around a little bit, but they will always come back.
What would you say to people who are even considering the fostering?
Well, I think the first thing to do is go into the SPCA, and they do have a foster program where you can learn what to expect and to go in and check out how you start. I don't know what the rules are because I've been doing it for so long, but they do have a program to teach you what is expected of you. And it's not much, just that love and attention. So that's what I would recommend, is just go into, I hate to call it the shelter, but go into SPCA and find out what you need to know. In fact, you can probably get a lot of information online.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works because, like I said, I've been doing it not before computers, but for a long time.
What do you think, Hodor? Hodor, what do you think? She's dead to the world. She's just like, nap time. Look at her. Well, you don't have a care in the world. Not a care in the world.
Oh, we'll go soon, Della. I have so many peppers at my house, the big peppers, so my farm manager says, you got to make stuffed peppers. And he says, you know how to make stuffed peppers? Sure, I know how to make stuffed peppers. Well, I don't know how to make stuffed peppers. So I have to get online, and I know it's ground beef.
Yeah.
I'm going to use quinoa instead of rice, though. Because I've sort
Probably
of,
better.
I
Yeah.
sort of, oh, if I only had my clippers. My foster puppies,
My cats.
oh, I had some of the cutest kittens when I used to foster kittens. When my farm manager went in to show his granddaughter or something, in my old house, I had those little hook and eye locks because the doors didn't shut tight. He didn't lock that. One of the dogs went upstairs, opened the door. Somehow the kittens got downstairs because I saw them down there, and I said, that's it, can't do this anymore. And then they attacked my 2 cats too, so.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Never when I was home. It's always when I was out.
Yeah, well,
You aren't filming this, are you?
no. He might be. Come on, get up. Oh, it is so hard. Beebs, you want to come up? Okay, what do I have here? What do I have? Oh, it smells good. It smells good. Okay. Ready? Oh, that's a good. Okay. You want to shake? 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 Good girl. Do you know how to shake? She says, I'll shake even if you don't ask. Are those good?
Those are cozy. Yeah.
This morning, local officials say they released more water from the red. The goal is to protect the city's downtown area from the devastating floods, and they're having a hard time with it.
Mmm, yum, yum. Mm, that's so good.
I want to show you on the map.
Bibi, can you do that?
All major flooding. This is
Bibi,
just a little
look.
street flooding. Every
Bibi.
one of these dots represents major flooding in
Oh, yeah. Trick dogs. Trick dogs.
areas of major flooding.
We'll get you a toy here.
Southeast Texas. It's about to happen and what's happening now. I want to show you on the radar
Try again.
what this storm is now doing. You know it's been
My
a
catchers aren't here.
storm. And the worst of
This,
the rain.
this is like a lot of fun. You're not recording, right?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you know.
You know, normally, when one of these storms goes over,
Oh, they were thirsty. You were thirsty.
on that warm water, when it's come up, especially at night.
They must have a lot of salt. Cookies.
Fuels it. Without the fuels, normally they rain themselves out. This one is fascinating for the meteorologist because what's happened here is
Doesn't this floor look like old wood?
there's been up north and east, somewhere around South Mississippi, lower Alabama, up into Shreveport. There's even weather up in North Mississippi and Tennessee from all of this. It's all going to move on to the north and east. And we'll get to the hurricane
Did
center
you just burp in the camera's face?
the Fox Extreme Weather Center to show you exactly what the projections are. But generally, back over the Gulf, and then in that.
Well, I don't know why she never went out. This is worse.